Mechagon has a whopping 36 unique rares to kill, and you'll need to kill them all if you want to complete the achievement Rest in Pistons. On top of that, you'll get reputation on your first kill, so if you want to get to Exalted with the Rust Bolt resistance quicker, then you'll definitely want to hunt them all down. Plus you'll get a bunch of other goodies as well from killing them. So in this video, I wanted to run through where you can find all of the various rare spawns, as some of them are a little bit tricky. They may need a specific NPC, or they may have a specific way of spawning them, so it's information that I thought was useful. There is essentially 4 different types of rare spawns on the island, but they all work similar in the sense that you can only kill them once per day to get their loot. But the reason I'm saying there's 4 different types is because there's different ways of the rare being available. So the first type is it's available every single day, and the only limitation is that it has a respawn timer. Then you have another type which is available every day, but it has a special way of spawning it, so it might not be there because, you know, you've not done the special method to get it to spawn. Then the third type is only available when a specific NPC or event is active, and you'll find it around in the area, but it once again has a respawn timer. And then the final and fourth version is that it's only available when a specific NPC or event is active, but it does have a special way of spawning it. The first rares up are going to be the ones that are available every day, the only limitation being the respawn timer. And based on what I've seen on the PTR, the respawn timers weren't that long. They were a little long, you were waiting an hour or two, maybe more, maybe less, but in general it wasn't a crazy wait, so you're not really going to have to be too worried about finding these on a daily basis. And I'm not going to go too into depth of where you can find them all. You'll see a map up right now showing their various spawn locations. Just head there, see if they're up, and if they're not, then you know it's been killed and you need to wait for it to respawn. Now most of them will yell in the general chat and alert you that they've respawned, so you want to be looking out for that as well. The rares that meet this criteria are Killsaw, Uncle T-Rog, Bone Picker, Mecha Arachnid Harvester, Jawbreaker, the Scrap King, Vaultbot, Mr. Fix This, Scrap Claw, Rust Feather, Rumble Rocks, Paul Pond Wanderer, Steel Stinger Frizzer, and Sea Spit. So all of these are going to just have a respawn timer. There are a couple that are worth talking about though. First of all, Vaultbot. This is one that is just going to spawn, but to kill it you need to do one of 2 things. You either need to take it into Bondo's yard, you basically need to kite it, you won't be able to kill it straight up. You'll kite it all the way into Bondo's yard, and there you'll find this kind of magnetic pole, and you'll pull it into the circle and it'll walk towards that and it'll explode and you'll be able to get the loot from it. The first time you kill it you should get a recipe, and that will allow you to craft a key, and that key will allow you to just simply walk over to the Vaultbot once it's up and then open it and loot it, saving you the hassle of having to kite it. Now personally I don't think it's really worth making that key. I haven't found any real benefits. Maybe there is extra loot that you can get from looting via the key that I haven't seen yet, but so far it just seems like it just makes it a little bit easier. So I would recommend just kiting it into Bondo's yard. Next up is Rust Feather. While this isn't special in terms of how you kill it, it is special because it does have a unique item that can drop. That is a mount that is unique to Rust Feather. So if you want to go after the mount, definitely worth killing Rust Feather every day and on ults as well if you want to. Next up is Killsaw. This isn't too special, but it is worth noting it does move around a little bit with its respawn points. It's basically in the area with all the trees and the other saw-based robots trying to cut down the trees. The next rare type is still up every day, but you'll have to do something special to get it to spawn. The first one we're going to talk about is the Deepwater Maw. And to get started with this, you'll head out to the kind of the left side of the island. You'll find a bit of water and an NPC called Danielle Anglers. And that'll start you on a quest chain. You'll run through the quest chain, and at the end of it, you'll have to build the 100 Fathom Lore. That'll also get you to keep the recipe permanently. And what you'll do is use this lore to summon the Deepwater Maw, which is right next to Danielle Anglers. That'll spawn, and it's a little bit of a boss rare, so you might need a couple of extra people. It is soloable though, especially if you're something like a hunter. But to get that killed, and you'll have to make 100 Fathom Lore, or have someone else who has 100 Fathom Lore every day to be able to spawn it. Next up we have the Malfunctioning Beastbot that you'll find in Bondo's yard. Once it's been killed it will take a bit to respawn, but once it has respawned you'll find this deactivated mechanical gorilla, and you won't be able to do anything with it. But right next to it you should find the recipe for the Beastbot Power Pack. You'll take it, you'll learn it, and you'll be able to craft the Beastbot Power Pack. Once you have one of those, you can take it back to the Malfunctioning Beastbot, insert it inside, and that'll make the encounter active basically. Now this is a group rare. You can solo it once again with a pair or being able to kite it around, but it is going to be more difficult than most of the rares, so do keep that in mind if you are going to activate the Malfunctioning Beastbot. But get it killed and you'll have your next rare done. The next rare up is the Crazed Trogg, which we'll find off in Sparkweaver Point. You'll head there and you'll head inside the cave, and if you find no Trogg in the cave, it means it's despawned at the moment. You need to wait for it to respawn. But when it does respawn, it'll be a friendly Trogg that'll just be kind of bashing away at a paint can, and it might yell a colour from time to time. So you want to be paying attention to what colour specifically it's hitting at the time, and it'll give you hints by yelling the colour here and there as well. And then once you know what colour it's talking about, you'll head all the way over to Bondo's yard, and you'll find this area with the Mechanocats, and there'll be 3 different paint colours. There'll be orange, blue and green, and you'll actually be able to walk inside the paint and basically paint yourself. So whichever colour the Crazed Trogg is interested in at the time, you'll paint yourself that colour, you'll head over to the Crazed Trogg once more, and then it'll get angry that you're the colour that it doesn't like. Then from there you'll be able to kill it. Foul Manifestation is the next one, and you'll basically head over to just behind the heaps, and you'll find an area with like a tar pool, and then just to the right of the tar pool you'll find a control panel. You'll run over, you should be able to interact with the control panel, and that'll interact and activate the 3 pylons around the pool. So then what you'll do is click on one pylon, take it into the water, click on the related pylon to it, and do that for the other 2 pylons, and what you'll do is activate the Foul Manifestation. This one's another one that's quite tough, and it does this consistent cast that will basically do a lot of damage to you, so it's probably going to be kind of rough to solo unless you have a lot of lifesteal, so would recommend trying to get some help with this one, but either way that's how you summon the Foul Manifestation. The next rare is the Mechagonian Nullifier, and this one's a little bit more tricky as it has one of 2 things that can summon it, and both aren't that easily obtained. The first thing is the Smash Transport Relay, which is going to come from the Sentry Enforcer mobs. The issue is these mobs are only available when the drills are active, so the drills that drill into caves, and they only spawn on 2 specific drills. The drill that's kind of to the left of Junkwat Depot, which will summon Boilburn, and the one that's to the right of Junkwat Depot that will summon Gemicide. So if one of those 2 drills is active, you should see these Sentry Enforcers, and you can go and kill those and get a chance at the Smash Transport Relay. The other method is getting the Remote Circuit Bypasser, which is a punch card for the trinket, and I got mine from the Scrap King rare, so I don't know which rare specifically can drop it yet, but I got mine from Scrap King, but I don't think it's exclusive to the Scrap King. I think it can come from some of the other rares as well. So you either need to keep looting rares until you get the Remote Circuit Bypasser, or as I said, kill Sentry Enforcers until you have the Smash Transport Relay. Once you have one of those 2 things, you'll then head into Junkwat Depot, and you'll head kind of to the top of the platform that's to the left hand side, and you should see this hackable transport relay on the ground, if it's up at least, because it does have a respawn timer. And you'll be able to click on that, you'll interact with it, whether you have the trinket or the Smash Transport Relay, and that will summon the Mechagonian Nullifier. Now this one's a little bit tough for a rare, once again would recommend having someone nearby to help you with it. It does have 2 ads that need killing pretty much quickly, because one will do AoE damage and the other will make the mob immune, so you want to kill those whenever they're up. And outside of that, it has an interruptible cast, and you basically just want to kill it down. The next one is Gearchecker Cogstar, and this one's fairly straightforward in how you get it. You basically just need to kill the upgraded sentry mobs that are found kind of to the left and right of Junkwat Depot. There's quite a lot of them, so just keep running around and killing those. I'm not too sure if it's a certain number that needs to be killed or it's a % chance of killing them, but either way just keep killing them until you get one spawn. It always took me quite a while though. I was killing them for about 20-30 minutes before I got a spawn, and then when it does happen you'll see it yell and it'll say the distress message has been received, and then it should spawn in where the one was killed. If it doesn't, just look around the area where you find the upgraded sentries, because maybe someone else got it to spawn, or maybe it spawned in a different location. But look around, you should see the star on the map, and then you can get your kill on Gearchecker Cogstar. Next up we have Enforcer KXT57, and that's going to spawn in Junkwat Depot. And the way I got this to spawn, maybe it was a coincidence, but I was killing the large elite robots in the area, the ones without the pylon, the Tesla coil on the head, just the normal ones. And when one respawned, instead of it being one of those robots, it was the Enforcer KX instead. So it could be either Enforcer KX has a standard respawn time, which I've not seen or been able to confirm. It does seem like it is a rare respawn of the elite mobs in that area. The final rare of this type is the Oxidized Leachbeast, and this one has quite a few hoops that you need to go through. First of all, you need to kill the other rare in this area called Mr. Fix This. It should be off to the right side of Junkwat Depot and it should be working on the massive weather machine. And you'll kill Mr. Fix This, and then from that, you'll have a chance of looting an item that will allow you to interact with the weather machine. So if you don't get it and no one else nearby gets it, you're going to have to wait until someone is able to interact with the weather machine. Once the weather machine has been activated and it is now raining in Junkwat Depot, these little oxidized beasts will spawn, the little tiny slimes. You'll find them in multiple areas around Junkwat Depot, and I was basically just running around and killing them over and over again, and eventually I got the Oxidized Leachbeast to spawn. Once again, I'm not too sure if this was a certain amount that needed to be killed, or it was a respawn of the little Oxidized Leech monsters. Not too sure on that, but either way, killing the Oxidized little monsters over and over again was the cause of the spawn, so keep doing that, you'll get yourself the Oxidized Leachbeast. The next rare type we're going to run through are the ones that are only available when a specific guest or event is active on that day. So that consists of Boggac Skullbash, Sparkqueen, and then the Rusty Prince. The first one we're going to take a look at is Boggac Skullbash, and this one only spawns when the drill rig constructions are up, so those little drills in front of caves, and you'll find him in Scrapbone Den. He'll be kind of walking up and down, and as I said, he only has a respawn timer. That's the only thing you need to wait for him to spawn. The next rare is Sparkqueen P'emp, and that one is only available when Razak Ironside is the guest NPC of the day, so that NPC that you probably know from Island Expeditions. It's a gnome that's been in the game for a while, but you're mainly known from Island Expeditions, and this rare spawns over in Sparkweaver Point, and it'll move towards Rustbolt, so you'll see a massive spider making its way to Rustbolt, and you'll be able to aid in killing it. The final rare of this type is going to be the Rusty Prince, and the Rusty Prince is found in Junkwat Depot, but it's only available if Chromie is the guest of the day. You'll find Chromie in Rustbolt, and she'll teleport you to an alternate Mechagon. There, everything is in ruin. You'll head over to Junkwat Depot, and he's pretty much right at the entrance of Junkwat Depot, if he's spawned at least, and you'll just kill him down. But once you're in there, you can actually kill the mobs in the alternative Mechagon, and you can get the recipe for the personal time displacer, which will allow you to craft an item that will take you to the alternate Mechagon whenever you want. So you can actually kill Rusty Prince every day, but you will need to keep making that personal time displacer and taking yourself to the alternate version of Mechagon. Now we're on to the final type of rares that are only available when a specific guest NPC or event is active, and you have to have a special way of spawning them as well. The first ones we're going to run through are the ones tied to the drill rig construction. There'll basically be a drill in front of a cave when this event is active, and you'll contribute to the drill will dig into the cave, and inside the cave will be a rare. The ones that are tied to this are Gulroc, All Big Tusk, Boilburn, Gemicide, Caustic Mechaslime, Gorged Gear, and Kleptoboss. So there's quite a few that are tied to this. I think there can only be 2 drills active at a time though, so you want to be looking around the island to see which ones are up at that time. You will also get a notification in chat as well when someone activates a drill, and I'll have a map up now showing you the various code names for the drills, so you know where to go for that specific drill. But head inside the cave, kill the rare, and as I said, there's quite a few. I think there's 6 total or 7 total from the drills, so make sure you're getting them all when the drills are up on that day. The next rare is the Fungarian Furor, and this one's only available if the guest is Myloon. She'll give you an item which you can use to heal the trees, but instead what you want to do is head off to the west, and you'll find these mushrooms next to the trees. You'll use the item on the mushrooms, and there'll be a chance that the mushroom will either turn into a small ad, or it can turn into a big ad which will spawn the Fungarian Furor, and that'll be another rare ticked off the list. The next rare up is the OOX-Avenger, or the OOX-Avenger, or the OOX-Avenger, I don't know. Either way, OOX-Avenger, and this one's a little bit of a pain to spawn. First of all, you need the guest Oglethorpe, who is the creator of like the mechanical chickens that you'll find across the various zones doing those really fun escort quests. And when he's up, there's basically a bunch of mechanical chickens across the island. There'll be one in particular called the OOX Fleetfoot, and this will be kind of dashing around the island, so I would recommend using a target macro to find it. And when you find it, you'll basically want to kill it down. It won't attack you, it'll just consistently run away, so having something that you can permanently slow it with is very useful. And it has a lot of HP, like it took us a good few minutes to kill it. And then once it finally dies, you'll see a message saying it's sent off like a distress signal, and the OOX-Avenger is coming to basically help. And what will happen is, after that dies, just to the left of Bondo's yard on the hill, you'll find the OOX-Avenger. It's a massive, massive Mechano chicken. You really can't miss it. And it does quite a lot of damage, and it also puts these effects on the ground as well that you'll want to move out of because they'll kill you very, very quickly. Would recommend getting help for this one as it is quite a tough rare. But get that killed, and once again, another one ticked off the list. The final rare for us to kill is going to be the Doppel Gang, and this one was actually kind of tough to track down. First of all, you'll need Walton Cog Frenzy to be the guest of the day, and he'll have a quest for you to aid with construction projects. Once you do that quest, you should get a pressure relief valve from completing the quest. I've had 3 out of 3 so far, but it might be on a lower drop chance, but from as far as I can tell, it's guaranteed. You'll take your pressure relief valve, and if Walton Cog Frenzy is still the guest of the day, you should find a item or a machine called the Doppel Gate over by Sparkweaver Point. It's kind of onto the left side of Sparkweaver Point, and there'll be 3 pipes that you can interact with. So you'll click on one, it'll place your pressure relief valve onto that pipe, but then you're going to need 2 more pressure relief valves. You can either save yours up over multiple weeks or whatever, or you can ask people on the island to come and help you with it, and they'll use theirs as well. Once you have 3 pressure relief valves placed, you'll be able to then interact with the pressure relief valves again, and once all 3 have been interacted with, a button will spawn on the Doppelgate. You'll click the button, and that will spawn a bunch of clones of the person who clicked the button. You'll kill down all of the clones, and then you'll just get the loot. It's kind of anticlimactic. I was expecting it to be really cool and how kind of built up it all was. But either way, you'll kill that, and that will be the final rare you can kill, and you should end up with the achievement Rest in Pistons. So that is now all the rares killed, and hopefully this guide was a help to you because it took me a long time to track down all of these rares on the PTR. If it was helpful, then consider supporting the channel on Patreon. The link to Patreon down in the description below. Even $1 helps support the channel and keep me pumping out guides. Either way, look out for more videos coming soon. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya!